What is up, Midnight Tokers, Afternoon Inhalers, and AM Hookah Smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast. We are a weekly podcast every Monday, 5:30 Mountain Standard Time, talking about bowls, tobacco, and a whole lot more. I am Matt. Joined with me, as always, is the always quick-witted, the computer savvy, the smooth talker, Adrian. How are you doing this week? It's what I do. I'm a hype man. I'm a hype. What's up? Yes, 33 watching already. We have a light goal set to 20 at the moment. It is the Captain Wetbeard light goal because it is not going to be a sponsored light goal because we have a different way that we're going to be giving out a couple of Don Bowls thanks to THL and Sky Hookah distribution as well. We'll get into that shortly. Don't you worry about it at all. Can't hear. That's weird. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure that out. Hold on. I think I know what the problem is, though I don't know why it's a problem, but it is a problem. Oh my goodness, come on, hurry up. Where's the button? I don't know. I don't know why it's not selecting the right one. All right, Adrian, try to say something.
I'm talking. Can you hear me? There's a 10-second delay. It's going to be a second before we even know if they can hear me or not, because I know you can hear me already.
Yeah, and I can see it. I can see it moving, so I know that they're going to be able to hear you as soon as it breaks through. So let's go ahead and just hit that again. Adrian, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling. I'm on vacation right now, you guys. So I have not been to work, and I won't be for another 8 days.
My goodness.
Smoking some good stuff. The chat will tell you what I'm smoking because we have this robot that we hopefully have programmed not to ban people, just for engaging in their community.
Yeah, it definitely should not. And we have a couple more fun little things going on in the chat too. Like if you type in exclamation point TRIS or Tris, there's a fun one that comes up. And then also if you do a type of one of faint, it says faint. Why is everything so quiet recently? It feels like.
I don't know. I'll pull my mic further towards my face.
There we go. Well, it's not quite a 10-second delay, but it's quite a big delay. It's just a YouTube thing that they automatically put us through. We don't have a separate one. That just happens. What's up, Tristan and Maggie? So yeah, if you type an exclamation point Tris, then I have it saying, get a new Mason product, need more in my life. I thought that was a good one for Tristan, just because we love him and his love of all things Mason products oriented. Also,
Mason shisha.
Yeah. Also, there's a great one for Derek. If Derek is in the chat today, which I don't know if he is or not, it's absolutely fantastic. If you do exclamation point Derek, you have to read what it says. It is fan-frickin-tastic, in my opinion. I love it. You know what?
You know what? Nightbot sucks. Oh, no.
I thought that was pretty fantastic. I forgot to put all the comments in the in our description box, so you're not going to be able to see them all immediately. But we have a bunch that we've used before in the past. Obviously, there's the iPaul or the exclamation point Paul. There's the exclamation point wetbeard. There's a ton of them. I'm going to get all those posted eventually so you guys can always know what they are. And as we add to the list as well, you'll be able to see them as well. So, yeah, I think they're pretty fantastic. I want to thank everyone for taking time and showing up for the show today. We got jroc here. Oh, it looks like Doug just showed up. Dr. Noob Sauce, as always, is here. I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Noob Sauce real quick because he does a lot of really cool things over at Hookah University. He puts in a lot of time and effort to make sure that other members of the community get a little bit of a spotlight. He edits people's videos and then posts them to their YouTube on the YouTube of the Hookah University YouTube. And I just think it's a really cool thing that they're doing. So I really want to give a big shout out to him. Go and check them out. You'll absolutely love it if you're able to. The commands are not at that one. The commands are over at the Nightbot one. Don't go to the commands at Stream Elements. Those ones are not completely set up quite yet. Still working on some stuff for giveaway things on the other one, basically. But we have a fun-filled show going on today. We're going to be talking about a little bit. We're going to be kind of doing like a how was the year of 2018? I had a pretty fun year for 2018. What about you, Adrian? Was there some things that stood out for you?
Well, outside of the hookah world, been a good year for me. Nothing crazy to say. I'm not going to lie and say everything was flower and amazing. We still have to work. We still have to do our responsible stuff. But I got a bunch of new hookah shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a bunch of new hookah shit came out. So that's a pretty fucking good way to
I think so.
end 2018.
Yeah.
Also, 2018 is kind of dragged on, it feels like. Maybe I'm the only one who feels that way.
It went by fast for me.
Really?
Oh my gosh, so fast. I think it's just because I had so many things happen this year, including the birth of my fourth daughter.
You got a child.
Yeah. So it just went so, like, everything's just going by so quickly. My daughters are already 9 months old. Like, there's just been a huge amount of stuff going on. You know, obviously I took a little bit of time away from the show during the first season where you had some awesome guests on that helped out. Sally from the Shisha Savage. Dr. Noob Sauce showed up a couple of times as well. I mean, it was just a fantastic time. And the show has grown in leaps and bounds, obviously. Yeah, we did hit the light goal already. You guys are too darn good when it comes to that stuff, obviously. So thank you so much for hitting that. We're going to go ahead and up it again. I'm just going to, instead of doing the every 5, because we're already at 24, I'm just going to bump it up to 35, see if we can hit that kind of quickly.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's nothing we're going to give away on the light goal today. We're going to do that in another direction. I'll explain that very shortly. But let's get into the show a little bit and talk about some stuff. The very first thing I want to do is make sure that everyone is able to share the show. Let others know that we are live and doing the show right now, and that we're also here every single Monday. Stuff like that is always very appreciated and very cool. And then, and also make sure you drop a like down on the video. We really do appreciate it. The wetbeard like goal, let's see if we can break it, crash it, do whatever we can with it. But the question for the show is, what has been the coolest part of 2018? And we'll talk more about that as we go through the show, obviously. But let's get into the show proper and ask the age-old question. Adrian, what are you smoking today?
You can't see my setup because it's off to the side because I didn't put it behind me because I already had it set up before we started the podcast. But it's my Matt Pear. You can probably tell because I got the Matt Pear hose, and unless I change the port itself, the only hookah this is going to work on is the Matt Pear. Mm-hmm. And then inside of it, which is way more interesting, I've been testing Alfaka Vanilla and mixing it with other Alfaka flavors for not one, but 2 videos I have coming up, and for the Alfaka series. And I'm smoking double apple 75% with 25% Alfaka Vanilla inside of a stone fit bowl with a Lotus on top, 4 titanium flats, and it's pretty good. The vanilla complements the double apple really well.
I was going to ask about that. I want to hear your kind of your takes on that just a little bit. What is, like, the vanilla to me, what I remember from the Alfaka vanilla, that is, it was very kind of like cakey in a way, but not like super vanilla-y or creamy or anything. So how are that double apple, licorice anise flavor mixing with that kind of cakey taste to it?
Here's the hot take issue with Alfaka vanilla. Mm-hmm. It's going to get I'm probably going to give it like a 4 out of 7 when I do the official review over at Pipe Dream Hookah. It's because as a standalone flavor, it's not very good. It is cakey, like you were saying. It tastes to me like a slightly overcooked angel cake, those bump cake looking things that like collapse if you don't cook them just right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the flavor you kind of get, which is like, at first it's kind of intriguing because it's new, but then you realize like, no, this is getting old really fast. But as a mixer, it kind of does this thing where, like, if you put it with peaches, you get a peaches and cream flavor. I've done it with lemon mint. I get kind of like a lemon meringue pie kind of a flavor going on. So it's a really good enhancer. And in the double apple, which is already like kind of a sickly sweet anise flavor, very kind of earthy but sweet at the same time. The vanilla just brings it up into more of a desserty flavor, it's very good.
That sounds pretty interesting. Not going to lie. It sounds like something I would be willing to try, at least if I get a double apple that I like, such as the Dubai apple from Azor that I really enjoy a ton. I'd be willing to try that.
I'm sorry. I will say that the vanilla cuts down on the anise flavor if that's something you don't like as much. It definitely, some of those sweet notes from the vanilla kind of push down the anise flavor in a really weird way. So it balances it out pretty nicely. I would recommend trying it with like 75% DA, 25% vanilla when you do try the mix. With whatever double apple you're using.
Might have to give that a shot for sure. All right, so we have all sorts of stuff going on in the chat right now, it looks like. Diabetes Hookah Review actually said vanilla, rose, and chocolate for the perfect mix. That sounds interesting. Floral,
I would try it.
Creamy, and chocolatey. That sounds very interesting. Yeah, exactly. That sounds pretty good. So I am smoking out of my like smoke because that's what I do, and I'm also using my Stone Vortex bowl, which I just found out jroc also got himself a wonderful Stone Vortex bowl because they are a very underrated bowl that I think needs to get a little bit more hype going on. But I am smoking an Alpha Kama mix because I wanted something nice, light, and delicious. But I'm doing Mountain Breeze, Freeze, Passion Fruit, Mango, and then also the Lemon Ginger because I cannot get enough of this stuff, Adrian. It is so very good. Fantastic stuff, honestly. We already have Derek's in here, and he's already cursing out the Nightbot. I turned off the stuff that'll get you in timeout, Derek. So don't be pushing him. I don't know if he's going to come and attack you. So be careful about that, Derek. Be careful.
I just got a message from Chris, Dr. Noob Sauce himself. And it looks like he's actually watching the podcast from 4 different accounts right now. Which,
like all of them.
Thank you. That's awesome.
I don't mind. Yeah, give us all the views we possibly can handle. I don't mind at all.
Chris is the best.
Absolutely. So let's go. So I have not put out any new videos. I was going to try and get one done today to post for the day, but I didn't have time to do that, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. It's going to be a mix video. I actually have not been able to do a mix video of Alpha Kama flavors yet, which I actually feel kind of bad about because I smoke it so regularly. So it's going to be a mix video of the Alpha Kama flavors. I'm not going to spoil it because I want people to be able to enjoy it and watch it when it comes out. But have you got any new videos either coming out or that will be out shortly?
Yeah, one really cool one. It's on a series I used to do that's coming back the beginning of next year. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're not missing out on that much. El Fokker series is going to be coming out next Monday. I planned for it to come out this Monday, but busyness happened. I actually shipped out all that Azure. I sent it over to actually where I work in parts at Ford. We have a shipping department, so I dropped it off over there. My coworker is going to ship it out tomorrow morning for me, so I don't have to print a billion labels. She got all the information. And, all that's kept me pretty busy. But I've got the new Alpha series video coming out. The last video to the Alpha Kama iced tea series, which is on passion fruit iced tea. And then I've got some, I wouldn't even really call them real reviews videos coming out, some more creative stuff I wanted to make that's hookah based on my channel. But I'll be plugging the shit out of that as soon as it comes out, so don't worry about that too much yet.
Very cool, very cool. Cameron says that he has a new video, but I don't think we can talk about it because it's pretty sure it's not going to be suitable for work content. So
I watched it, and I would definitely recommend going to check out that content. It's original content by Cameron, and it's juicy.
Always
don't do it around your parents. Your parents will not appreciate the content.
Just him with bacon. I don't want to go any further than that. It gets greasy. Let's put it that way. So yeah, if you are interested in what we're smoking, as we get past it, you can do !smoke, and it's one of the commands that we have, and it'll tell you exactly what it is we're smoking. Captain Wetbeard says that he's smoking this crazy Tangiers mix. It is Tangiers F-line cashmere, passion fruit, mixed with the Nor line, new lime, and dark cherry. That is a lot of flavors in one bowl. That sounds almost like a cocktail of doom right there. You got the cashmere. You got the crazy passion fruit, which is sweet and delicious. The new lime, which is very potent and strong. And the dark cherry, which is like a blow pop. That sounds pretty good. Pretty good there, I tell you what. What about the rest of you guys? Do you have anything else that you guys are smoking? Let us know in the chat down below. Appreciate it as always. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some news stuff. Want to talk about THL. They're doing a big giveaway thing. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. If you're a part of the different things
I just won.
You won something?
Actually.
What'd you win?
Mm-hmm. Is there a cigar?
So you get to keep one?
I get to... Well, no, they're shipping me out another one. I don't actually have any left. They're all going out.
That's fantastic. Nightbot is in fact deleting people's stuff. Oh, Richard Hill got caught. I have no idea what he even said, but he got caught. He's in timeout for 5 seconds. I don't know.
Why are we letting Nightbot do this?
I didn't think I thought I turned all the spamming stuff off. Hold on a second. Let's go to spam protection. I did not turn off the excessive caps.
Back to any of the real life mods that have wanted to
we have not. That's going to happen when we go on to our break. We're going to be reaching out and talking to some people. If you're interested in being a part of the AM Hookah Podcast team, a moderator, a producer of sorts, a team member of what it is that we're doing here, you can hit us up over at hookahpod@gmail.com. And send us an email. Hey, what's up, Richard? How you doing? Sorry you got put in timeout for a little while. You can send us an email if you're interested in being a part of the team. And all you got to do is just say, hey, I'm interested in being part of the team. When we go on our 2-week break, we're going to be reaching out, talking to people, and figure out a way to get you guys involved a little bit more with the people that are interested in doing that as well. Also, kind of a cool thing, we do have some merch for sale if you guys are interested. I'll shoot out a link real quick. And this merchandise has our new logo on it, the one that Adrian has. It's really nice and pretty drawn up. We have some cool things for like phones. We have a sweatshirt. We have shirts. We do have socks, though. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you if you guys want to buy anything. I'm not telling you to get anything. It will definitely help the show in the future. We're trying to do a lot of really fun and exciting things, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of cool stuff going on. THL, going back to that though, in the giveaways they're doing. They're doing Smoke December. I don't even know what they're calling it. Giveaway a marathon December. I don't know. they're giving away so much stuff. It's absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't even tell you the amount of sponsors, honestly, Adrian. Do you have a number of how, is it like 20, 30 different
It's like
sponsors?
30 something.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how this all came together so quickly, but
it did.
Let Frank and Tommy do what Frank and Tommy do.
Yes, it's phenomenal. Paul is doing a very cool giveaway where you donate something, like let's say you donate a toy to Toys for Tots or Salvation Army or like any of those different things, donations of any kind, obviously, and let them know, send him a receipt in like a private and a message and stuff, and you'll be entered to win a B2 Precious Cut. Like it's a giveaway based around you giving back, and I think it's absolutely phenomenal. You can get an entry just by being a good person, by donating something, and then at the end of the month is when they're going to be giving away a B2 Precious Cut. I think that is phenomenal. It gives you incentive to help out the community that you may be a part of and stuff like that, and then you may be winning one of the most elegant, beautiful, rare, amazing hookahs there are possible to get. Phenomenal.
I'd deceive you to actually name a hookah that's more aesthetically pleasing and high functioning than that.
No
I
way.
mean, there's plenty of people like who argue that like the Matt Pear has a better draw than a B2, and I've got my own opinion on that. But aesthetically, those Precious Cuts are absolutely obscene, and it's still a B2.
Mm-hmm.
So good on them.
One of the few hookahs that I think you can really say that the price is like worth what it is you're getting in a lot of ways. Like I mean, draw is always going to be preference based. So like you can get a good draw from whatever you like to draw and stuff from. But in general, those things are just phenomenal. And I know they're pricey, but they're beautiful. They really are. So I have a giveaway that we're going to do right here, and the way we're going to do this, and I hate some of you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, David Dewan, I don't know what you're trying to do to me, but I decided to do this thing on THL, and all you had to do was on THL answer the question that I posted onto the group, and if you answered it and then you're here live to listen to it, you're going to be able to win one of these Dawn Bowls, okay? That's pretty simple and easy. I was going to read all the comments to Adrian and say, hey, Adrian, which one of these comments do you think is the best? But I kid you not, Adrian, the comment that David Dewan wrote me is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paragraphs long. You want me to read this? I'm dyslexic. I can't see worth shit. And I can't do no, David, you are disqualified because you wrote too big of a response. Not cool, David. Why would you do that to me? It's a great comment. It really is fantastic. And if anybody's interested, take a look, read it. Honestly, I almost feel like we should give him the bowl because of how amazing this comment was. But I didn't want to give it to him. I wanted you to select one, and by selecting it would make them the winner. So sorry, David. Try to keep it a little more precise, concise, and me able to read it, all right? So let's go through this. Are you ready for this, Adrian? Okay, so the question is, what is the bowl you love to use and why? That's simple, very easy. See, David? Easy, simple. That's all I was looking for. I'm going to go ahead and read you some of these responses, and then I'm just going to have you select the one that you like, 2 of them that you like the most, and then we will send those 2 people a bowl of this Dawn Bowl. Solo is the one that it is. It's right here. Thanks to THL and Sky Hookah Distribution. So the very first one is, I love mixing it up depending on what I am smoking. If I need a quick pack to get back into the game, I'll pick up a Dawn Bowl, Turkish or Dawn Evil, and I will do a quick fluff on foil. More indistinct packing where I want to take my time, I will pick up a Stone Bowl, which is one of the bowls, each one of my bowls has its own purpose. That's your first comment. Ready for the next one? Okay, so I still have my very first alpaca. It is a symphony black with a beautiful blue dripping on the top. It is my best bowl, not my best bowl at all, but it is my first real bowl. It has battle scars from where I broke the bridge, but it is also the first one that I learned to pack. When I reach for a bowl and my hands always find her, I always smile and remember my first time when I fluffed Tangiers and almost died. I smoked it for 2 hours with great clouds, and most people are going to say that this bowl is because it's beautiful, or the bowl because it holds heat better, but mine is the one that I grew up with, and it's a good to smoke hookah with. All right, here's the next one. Sorry I'm so dyslexic, by the way. Dawn Turkish for me. Easy pack, easy smoke. I like the Solo also. So he already has one, so maybe not that one. Okay, moving on to the next one. My favorite bowl to use is the Goodfella V3. It's my favorite because it was my first good bowl I bought after using cheap ceramic Chinese bowls and the regular Egyptian bowl. Yeah.
Mm. It sounds like my story with that bowl.
Are you? Well, I don't think this is you. I don't see your name on that one.
I'm trying to remember if I hacked anyone's account. Go on.
All right. Next one we got. To be honest, it's a toss-up between the medium alpaca and the Surrey bull. Hands down, capacity suits my needs, durability, and the clay. I've beat them to death, and they've never let me down. Love the mini rook between smoke. I love the mini rook between smoking Tangiers, and even if it works wonders, holds the right amount and fits the Provost perfectly. I had numerous 80 feet. Oh, this is the next one. I've had numerous 80 feet since inception, and sadly they met an untimely death. Whenever Jen Hookah started stamping 80 feet in my favorite bowl, I have the dirty money, and it is the first stamp Jen bowl. Whether I want to smoke a blonde, dark leaf, it doesn't matter. Does an extremely good job. Can do a 90 minutes on Alpha Comma session and to do a unicorn 3-hour Tangiers one. I take extra good care of it. Of the bowl has caused to me and one of a kind. The 80 feet 80 resurrection bowls are awesome bowls, but personally they do not do it like my dirty money one. We have somebody that posted a picture, which I guess kind of counts, but not in this case because I can't really show the pictures off. Some videos, very nice. Lots of cool stuff you guys posted, but I needed the story behind it. Man, we got so many. I almost feel like we should just do a random giveaway to some of these people instead of me reading, because do you remember any of these yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Stone Bowl. Not only is it my compensation of the bowl extremely sturdy, but it also retains heat very well. It is aesthetically pleasing, and it can handle both blonde and dark leaf extremely well. And it is practically able to fit most, if not all, HMDs on the market. Brandon doesn't sacrifice quality over beauty. Obviously, referring to the maker of the wonderful stone bowls. Then the next one. My very first real bowl, my HJ Harmony. This thing has been my workhorse for nearly 2 years. It's easy to foil, takes every HMD that I've tried, and looks gorgeous. It makes me happy knowing that it's lasted all this time. Moving on to the next one. 80 feet 80 for Tangiers. The dense pack, low capacity, and the clay make it the perfect bowl for a hot, perfect Tangier session. Moving on to the next one. For everything else, it is the Crown Classic Micro. I have a glass setup, and nothing else beats glass on glass. Oh, man, that was loud. Jeez.
Glass on glass. I don't know about that.
Glass on glass. Nothing beats it. It's like that old Outkast song, so fresh and so clean. And then the very last one. I mainly use funnel bowls that I have 10 to 18 gram capacity with Tangiers dense packs. So small predators I mainly use for a Titan bowl from Brazil, combo with the Provost and with my sessions. So that's all of them. Let me see how many there were. There was
That's
1,
interesting.
2,
There's not a whole lot of bowls that are going to take a 10 to 12 dense pack.
5, 6, 7.
I have one,
8,
and it's custom made by Relics,
9,
and it's small.
10. We have 11. We have 11 total. Should I just do a random?
Here's the thing. I feel like I need to read David's, because he definitely put some effort in, and we got the chat on Team David. I think we need to do I think I need to do, because I am not dyslexic, a live reading of David's comment. I need you to copy and paste it into Messenger right now.
Okay, hold on just a second. Hold on. Somebody's posting stuff all over. It's going crazy in my messages and stuff. All right, here we go. I love how he starts it out with, good question, Matt Dezen. Good. I like that. Just good question.
Also, while you're copy and pasting it, make sure you read Brad's, because he's saying you missed it.
Brad. I'm sorry if I missed it. I'm not seeing it pop up on mine. Maybe I need to refresh. Hold on, give me a second. Did you post it while we were live? That's a little. Oh well. Okay. Adrian, there's your name. I'm trying to get this sent to you right now. Here you go, man. It is.
All right, everybody.
It is big.
Okay. Here we go. Did you find Brad's?
Let me see. I'm going through them right now again. I'm not seeing Brad's come up on this.
Well, while you try to find it, David.
Oh, here we go. I just found it. Oh, there's a couple more. There's 3 more that I missed, actually. One of them said Mason Onyx because it's the best. Alpaca Alpache because it works well on foil and HMDs. And then the one that I'm not telling you who it's from. I love my Bambino and my 80 feet 80. Perfect 1 round session, 2 coals, 13 to 15 grams of tobacco.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth?
All right, are you going to do a live reading right now?
Yep. Okay. So just in case anyone's wondering how I'm committing these to memory, I've got my top 3. So as I listen, I decide right then whether or not it's going to make it. But here is David Dewan. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
I believe so.
David. I don't have a good David voice. Good question, Matt Deasand. Selecting a single favorite bowl is like selecting a single knife from a butcher block. Each knife has a purpose, and you would not fillet a fish with a meat cleaver. Though the chef's knife is the most used and most common, someone with passion in cooking or an extreme hobby of cooking would argue the need for other knives in their arsenal and merely get by with the most versatile knife if they had to. That adds up.
Makes sense.
The session, part 1. That being said, if one had to select a single bowl, I would apply the same logic as above. This would lead me to analyze what is the most common session I find myself smoking in. Hookah being a hobby and social event for me, I find myself smoking light flavors with my wife sharing a session. We are not cigarette smokers, nor do we vape. Most certainly, we do not chase nicotine. I don't know why I ended that in a question. We enjoy flavorful hookah with blonde tobacco, typically smoking once a day in the evening, and sharing a bowl together leads us to want a single, decently long session to share while we catch up on a show. That was part 1. I think that's very well worded, and I agree with that. When I have people over, I'm smoking a blonde, because no one can handle Tangiers. My friends are all bitches. The shisha, part 2. For my wife and I, we explore different tobaccos and lean on blonde leaf more in the dark. Though we will experiment, we find ourselves smoking 75% blonde leaf. We range anything from Azur, Alfaker, Alpha Kama, Trifecta, and then an assortment of samplings. Classifying these as more of the budget tobaccos, price per gram is rather favorable. Thus, we are not too worried about the amount of tobacco we are using per session, and are more worried we are wasting any of the tobacco. That was part 2. The heat, part 3. For heat, we use Kingfire and Superior, or other coals we can buy in lounge cases. Good call. These are enough quality for us, keeping a true clean cocoa coal, yet again helping with making the hobby economic probably is the word you're looking for, and allowing us to focus less on counting every coal we use. Heat management device, our Provost, also ensures we get the most out of our coal and keeps consistency in the session. That's well worded, mostly. The hookah, part 4. I wish I had music. As mentioned before, don't put on music, Matt. We enjoy the hobby of smoking and do not smoke for anything other than flavor. We do not want our hobby to feel like a chore or require much effort to enjoy. Thus, we go for a more open draw and chose the Matt Pear Simple. This draw allows us to enjoy the session by practically breathing naturally and not taking deep inhales. Boom. The verdict, part 5 and the finale. This is a long one, ladies and gentlemen. Bowl selection. All that being said, the bowl for us that covers the most common session we encounter is the Alpaca Goodfella Bowl. This already hit my top 3. Basically, anytime the Goodfella popped in, I marked it because that was my first bowl too that I got to work properly. This bowl is, and I hope this is a version 3. Let me know if it is, David. This bowl is designed very well from a quality point of view with great glaze and great quality clay. The thickness of the bowl feels as if it holds heat well enough for us to keep our session consistent while we enjoy others' company. We do not worry too much about heat management, coals, HMD, etc., and let time pass by together. The bowl itself is decently deep, allowing for 15 to 25 grams of tobacco and at a very strong fluff pack or semi-dense pack. The amount of tobacco and packing method enables a session that is long enough to not want another bowl and short enough to burn through it all in one session. This wouldn't be recommended for a dense pack, but again, that is not our most common session, so we are very happy to forego the use case. The Vortex/Spire is very open, almost the size of a nickel wide, something like that, and keeps with the notion we want an open session. We do not want to put effort into just trying to get flavor out, nor restrict the hookah, which by far is the biggest investment financially in our hobby. The Goodfella is our chef's knife, and though we would need, and though we would need to lean on other bowls to get multiple hour sessions of dark leaf, we do not find ourselves needing the unique design required to achieve that. The Goodfella bowl is our choice for a favorite bowl. There were some wording errors.
Oh my goodness.
But that was a long post, so that's to be expected. I'm not expecting them to do a spell check for that novel. This is a hard one. Because I can't just give David based on wording and length. But
He's also very
makes a
informative.
lot of good
yes,
points.
he does. He does. I mean, that was a very, very well. Everything in there was completely perfect in the sense of what he was aiming for, what he was going for. The callback.
It
at
was
the end
very
of it.
cohesive. I understand exactly all 5 points that he made.
Mm-hmm. So what are we gonna do?
So it's between him,
Okay.
and the very first Goodfella user,
Okay.
speaking on using the Goodfella after using crappy Chinese ceramic bowls and edgy bowls. And between those two, I got to go Team David Dewan because it resonates with me. All of that makes sense, and I make selections based off of the same reasons, I guess, is the best thing that comes to mind. There was like this big word I was thinking of, but I'm not smart.
Okay, so the very first one is going to... So, David Dewan, you won it, and then the other one that you liked was the very first one that talked about the Goodfella, that correct? So that was actually Michael. He says, my first bowl used was the Goodfella V3. It's my favorite bowl because it's the first good bowl that I bought after using cheap ceramic Chinese bowls and the regular Egyptian ones. So it looks like Michael is so David, I already know, is in the chat, so that's fine.
Derek Moses is saying he didn't read his either.
Well, because you didn't have one. You had pictures, Derek. He says because some things can be imitated but never duplicated, and then it's a bunch of pictures of stone bowls, which I completely agree, but I needed you to put that into writing because you don't say a bowl inside of your written part. You just have a picture of the stone bowls, which is a very good thing. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it completely. But at the same time, I can't use it because you didn't mention a bowl name, if you know what I'm talking about. David 1, is Michael here?
Not with his rules.
Is Michael here? Is Michael here?
Oppression.
If Michael is here, then we can get him the bowl. If he's not here, then we have to move on to somebody else, and you'll have to select a different one. Matt, I am
Hold on. You know I said David, right?
Yeah, David. Yeah, there's 2. We have 2 to give away.
Oh, there's 2. Yeah, second place is the other Goodfella bowl.
Oh,
play to your audience.
Hookah Feen. Hookah Feen is Michael Martinez in THL. Congratulations, Hookah Feen. You are the winner. And David Dewan, can we please get a hashtag David and a hashtag Feen? Hashtag David, hashtag Feen. You guys are the winners. Congratulations. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll get the information from you guys on Facebooks, and I will be sending you the Don Bull solo. Thank you.
All right.
THL,
then
thank
I'm going
you.
to breathe a sigh of relief. We're done giving away shit for Frank.
Yes, I think so. I think we're all the way done for a very long time. This was a blast and a great time, obviously. Oh, we've almost hit the 35 like goal. If you guys want to do that, I'd appreciate it as well. Congratulations. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Oh, my gosh. That took up a whole amount of time, but it was fun.
Yeah, I had to read a book real quick.
Didn't know you were going to be doing that, did you? Did you?
Some of his wording I could tell, because if you read it in your mind, it makes perfect sense. But when you read it out loud, some of the words weren't. He did not use plural where he should have, and then vice versa.
You gonna go all teacher? You gonna go all teacher on him right now?
No, it was hard to read it because of that.
All right, so let's get into our topic of the show, which is going to be a year in review. The year in review is going to go over 2018. We're going to have some fun with this. Obviously, I'm going to bring up some different topics that we can talk about. We're going to start with bowls, actually. One of the very first bowls that I actually thought about that came out this year at the start of it was the Goodfella V4, the shallow and the regular one. I thought those were pretty interesting bowls. I know that I have the first edition, the 4.0. You have the 4.5 as well. What did you think about these bowls when they hit the market?
Are we talking about Goodfellas?
Goodfellas, V4 and 4.5.
The V3 was probably one of the better bowls ever made in hookah history. The dimensions were perfect. It was like the every bowl. You could get anything to smoke out of it. It was just small enough where you could smoke Tangiers if you were able to sit down for 4 hours and finish the bowl. But it was just big enough where you could fluff pack anything into it. So the V4 missed the mark on that. The V4 had the spire was recessed. It had too much capacity, and the dimensions were just all wrong. The glazes weren't very good either for the multicolored glazes. The 4.5, on the other hand, does a much better job of replicating what the Goodfella is all about, which is an every bowl. Like, you can pack anything into it. And I really like both of those bowls. I'm excited. Now, when I say both of them, I mean the 3 and the 4. Don't pick 3 and the 4.5. Don't pick up the 4. I think it's not a good bowl. But I hope those were the thoughts you were looking for. I just saw that Dr. Noob Sauce is actually streaming this on his channel.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Dr. Noob Sauce. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Copyright infringement, you'll be hearing from our lawyers. Anyways, so I never tried the V3 from the Goodfella, obviously. It was something that I just never got a hold of for whatever reason, but I got the V4, and I know that it's the deeper representation of the bowls, but I love it for my blonde leaves, and especially for mixing dark leaves, not using a pure dark leaf that I'm going to waste a bunch of tobacco with, but when it comes to mixing it either with a blonde leaf or anything else like that, I really do enjoy it quite a bit. I think it's pretty nice for those types of things. Some other bowls that came out this year as well were some of the stuff from Hookah John. He came out, I don't think the 80 feet 80 came out this year, just the 80 feet Resurrection, correct? Or did the 80 feet 80 come out this year as well?
80 feet 80 was last year.
Okay.
So we did see that from Hookah John, which is an awesome product. I think we've seen more bowls than that though, right?
Yes, there are some more bowls that we still have to talk about. Mason came out with 2 bowls this year. They came out with the Helix bowl, which everybody went gaga over because it's a pretty cool bowl. It looks beautiful, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. One of the bowls that I really wanted to get, just haven't got my hands on it yet. And then the Grand Onyx as well came out with a little bit of controversy in the beginning, but I feel like things have died down and people are starting to really enjoy that bowl, both aesthetically reasons and then smoking it as well. I think there's a little bit of controversy that came out about those bowls. What was your favorite bowl that came out in 2018? Chat, if you guys would answer that, I'd really appreciate it. And then I think we need to spend just a little bit of time talking about the biggest bowl, in my opinion, that came out in 2018. That was the Relics Ring Bowl. Adrian, how much do you like this bowl?
Well, jroc, he says, I actually love the V4 bowl. Works great. Not too sure about the V4.5. Actually, if I understand correctly, you are more of a blonde smoker, and it smokes blondes just fine. So what I look for in the Goodfella is the ability to smoke almost anything, but I think you're right. The V4 is probably great for a smoker like you if you're primarily a blonde smoker. The Relics Ring.
The Relics
This
Ring.
is an outstanding bowl.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there was a blunder with the release. So some people who should probably have it don't, which is unfortunate. But the Relics Ring, is there anything to say that we already haven't said ad nauseum at this point? It's just one of the best bowls released.
I completely agree.
It already is right up there with Stone Bowls and Mason Bowls in terms of just raw premium quality and performance.
Yes, it really is. The only thing that I think that can be said about it that's been said before but still needs to be said again is that I can't wait for more people to get their hands on it and more conversations to be had about it. It looks like THL is doing some pretty cool things with Kyle, allowing some group buys. I believe there's 3 group buys that have already gone through in THL, which is absolutely phenomenal. They're going to be taking place sometime next year when he gets started with that. Kyle Smith, obviously. It's going to be really, really cool. Dr. Noob Sauce wants to talk about hookah villains. I don't know if
I think we should. I think we should talk about Ron.
It happened in 2018.
We didn't get into, but this is probably one of the most important pieces of news, just as a warning to people. Real quick, Noob Sauce is saying do it. If everyone in this chat is privy, we don't need to talk about it ad nauseum. But real quick, just let me know if you want to talk about this, and I think we can dedicate a little bit of time to it because we're not going to be taking callers today because of a time constraint, unfortunately. But we are going to be expanding the length of the podcast. Is that what we decided on, Matt? I believe it is.
Yeah, for season 3, we're going to be going a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're going to be the normal show length plus time after for calls and giveaway spins if we happen to have a giveaway that week. Normally, we don't have a giveaway every week. This has been kind of an insane month.
Yes, it has, for sure. I'd be more than willing to talk about some Hookah Hero stuff. I spoke about it a little bit on my last Gamecast that I did, just because it was when the news first broke that the money that was promised to Kyle Smith for the Relics rings was never delivered, even after he spoke multiple times to try to give him time, to be patient with him, and it still never happened. Lots of people are saying talk about it, so I think we should go ahead and say at least a little bit of piece. Obviously, like Adrian said, this is the biggest news thing that probably happened in 2018. We had a vendor that was a pretty much well-respected vendor for a very long time. Some people had issues with him, but I don't think any more issues than what you normally expect from getting most vendors type stuff. Until finally, the shit hit the fan, excuse my French. But honestly, that's exactly what happened. It happened right when he was doing his big anniversary sale. There's been a lot of rumors that went around saying that he didn't actually have the product on the shelf that he said that he did, and he was buying it as he was selling it, which caused a lot of issues and problems. Then he was shut down through Shopify for multiple reasons. He blamed many reasons. He blamed Shopify one of the times. He blamed the ability to get it through what was it called coding. He said that he tried to code it, which everything that he said just continually got
Shopify is one of the largest pieces of software that any business uses. We're talking big $1 million businesses use this regularly, and like 5-star uses this, for instance. And people have opinions about 5-star, but your order eventually gets to you at 5-star.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. Ron tried to bullshit a bunch of people, and in doing that, he put himself in a position where it looks like he thinks everyone's way fucking dumber than he is, which is a serious problem.
Yes.
Like, it's a big problem. Because in this community, when you're trying to pander to a niche group of people who partake in the hobby you're trying to profit off of, you need to be, if you're going to compete with the guys we already have in the industry, like Hookah Shisha, Hookah John, 5-star, whoever you shop with, you need to be on top of it. Not only was Ron not on top of it, but he bullshitted people. He stole from people. He lied. He was a little fucking rat. And it makes me sick to my stomach, everything he did. He hurt one of my personal good friends, and I think a lot of us can say this about Mr. Kyle Smith. He's a good friend to almost everyone in the community. If you ever had a chance to talk to him, or I've even gotten to meet him, he's just a great guy. And he was shafted by Ron. And as of today, even, he has still not been paid for the bowls that were bought, which is obscene. If no one saw that post in THL, he actually, now this is unfortunately something Kyle shouldn't have done. I think that Kyle wasn't aware that he could have sold this stuff on his own. And luckily he will be doing that for the next 3 batches. And I think he's going to be very happy with the results. He's going to have money in pocket. He's not going to deal with any bullshit. But Ron took all the bowls, took all the money for the bowls, and was supposed to pay Kyle like some sum of money after the fact. That never happened. And now Kyle can't get a hold of Ron. Ron's been dodging him. I'm saying I've actually got some direct messages, but I'm not supposed to. I shouldn't say exactly what went on because that's for Kyle to say if he wants to. But it's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's complete and total bullshit.
And then Ron, sorry,
go ahead.
And I was just going to say, when it comes to the other customers that order from as well and did not receive any of their products of any kind, they're also not getting a refund immediately. And these actually hurting people through this other part of legislation by not allowing people to get a full refund, but telling them that they have to go through the process of getting a chargeback through their own personal company. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. There's more hoops that are being caused to jump through so that he has less of a worry to deal with it. And that's part of a bigger issue and problem when it comes to all this. Like, there should be legal suits put into action. There should be civil suits and stuff like that. The issue with that is that now there's more work that has to be done just to get what people were wanting to get out of either the sale or their money back. So that's huge problems when it comes to all this, is the fact that like more hoops have to be jumped through just to get what is rightfully somebody else's.
And let's dig a little deeper into the next level, because this is pretty common information. A lot of people know that he pulled this shit, trying to pull the wool over everyone's eyes, which is like, you have to have a relatively low amount of intellect to be doing that in a community where everyone knows everyone else's first fucking name, right? Mm-hmm. But on top of that, then he goes on trying to defend himself and select social media posts all over all the different groups. And every time he's like, oh, that's been taken care of. Like X person, they've been taken care of. Bam, they're back in the comments saying, no, we weren't. Then he hits them with something like, charge me back. Now, I'm sure everyone knows this because we're all adults because we smoke hookah. Charging back is not a fucking common business practice, is it? No, it's something you do to a business that is not operating properly. This is not something any business owner should ask people to do. Oh, just charge it back. Yeah. This was all framed under the guise of a family emergency. And I mean, whether it be death in the family, which shame, like that's awful. People go through it. You know, we should all have to go through it because death is something that happens. But still, you have an obligation to at least let people know. And it's not like it all happened when he had this emergency. This is a track record that had been building up to this point.
Yeah.
And the real cliff notes to all this is Ron's probably going to try to re-infiltrate the community. And he's probably going to have some fucking big story. And I would just like it if no one forgot what the fuck he did to our community. Not only community members, but some people that are actually trying to give to the community in like a literal, they're making products for the community kind of way. And don't purchase from Ron ever again. Yeah. We have so many good vendors that actually have things on their shelves that are actually hustling. Guys like John, who are trying to make hookah bigger in America than it ever has been ever, period. Yeah. Purchase from those guys. Don't fuck around with Ron from Hookah Heroes. He makes me sick to my goddamn stomach.
It's the absolute truth. I mean, it really is something that just infuriates and makes a lot of anger, and it should, because the simple fact that part of the problem with this whole entire thing is the fact that we have people, members of the community, that are literally trying to help this hobby of ours grow and become a larger, better entity than it already is. And then we have somebody that's hurting it by doing things like this. I do not think that he'll be welcomed back in the communities. I don't think that he would ever be able to get back to any sort of stature of any kind. He would have to stay far away. And then sadly, the only people that he's going to be able to prey on are the people that don't know any better. And it's up to us to educate those types of people and make sure they understand there's better people, better selections, and better things that are out there that are not going to hurt at the end of the day. Captain Wetbeard just said something. Yeah, if a customer disputes a charge from a company, we actually encounter a $35 chargeback fee from the merchant card processor. So chargebacks are never a good thing. And because he has no money to give anyways, all it's going to do is sit in limbo until finally a civil suit is filed, which is more hoops for somebody else to jump through. So honestly, it's just sad, pathetic, and a lot of other horrible things that can be said that Derek's doing a great job in the comments of saying right now. Boy, am I glad that I turned off the chat bot to spam people. So anyways, let's move on, get out of this a little bit. We're running a little bit close to the end of the show and stuff, and I wanted to talk about a couple other things that happened this year in the beautiful year of 2018. Make sure you drop a like on the video as well. We almost hit 35 likes for the Captain Wetbeard like goal, and I'd really love it if we were able to do that on this episode. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about something big that happened in 2018 that wasn't horrible. It was actually a wonderful, beautiful thing. The Hookah Worldwide Expo in beautiful Las Vegas, where I got to meet so many awesome people. It was fantastic. It's where my wonderful friendship started with David Dewan, other than the show, obviously. He was the only reason why I was able to stay alive one night, and you know what I'm talking about. David and so many other people, meeting Dr. Noob Sauce for the first time, Jeremy and Travis, obviously. Hookah Frank for the very first time in person was absolutely fantastic. Paul and Bracken and Eddie, my wonderful roommates, hanging out with Doug for such a long time, even Tam from Superior Cocoa. He is a animated cartoon character, especially when you get him to start drinking rum. Art, obviously, as well, was fantastic to meet in person. Like, there's just so many people, Kenneth and Maggie, who were two of the very first people that came up to me and immediately said, like, "Hi, Matt, how's it going?" and, like, knew who I was. The amount of people that came up and just said, "We love the show, we love what you guys are doing," and stuff. It was just absolutely fantastic. And Adrian, I'm still so sad that you did not make it to the expo. Obviously, lots and lots have been said about the expo for a very long time. Stefan meeting him, but you did something very cool in 2018.
2019,
well.
Baby.
Yeah, you better. I'm going to kidnap you if you don't.
It's going to be stellar.
Also, there was also a couple other cool things that happened in 2018 when it came to the world of meetups. You did two of them, actually, both in Chicago. Let's hear about those a little bit.
Okay, so Nino from over at Mason Shishaware runs this little get-together in Chicago called the Chicago Hookah Meetup. And so far, it's got a track record. I think it happens biannually at this point. And the first one was awesome. It was the first time I ever got to meet Chris in person. I got to meet Christian Lauber. A lot of people. I'm not going to try to name them all because everyone was there. Yeah. We were all in this studio, this like hair studio that I think belongs to Nino's sister or something. And the place was clam-baked. And it was just awesome. We were out there for one night. I drove out that day, drove back the same day, because Michigan, I can get away with that. And it was awesome. Just like a really good 8 hours. And then I liked it so much that later that year, actually just a couple months ago, I went back out again, but this time I got an Airbnb with, Travis, Jeremy, Chris.
The frat house.
I can't really say. Yeah, Badia was there. Doug was there. Paul Eddie showed up. It was Frank. The Tank was there. So many people were there. I'm going to stop naming because I'm going to forget people like an asshole. But that was a blast. We spent 3 days. I can't talk too much about what happened there because
it can never be talked about. Never be talked about again.
They partied too hard. DM them, see what they'll give up. But it was a really good time. And as always, the meetup itself was extremely cool. They actually played the fight. There was a fight that night. It was the one that McGregor lost. Mm-hmm. I don't follow UFC that closely, but I knew that McGregor lost. And go to all the hookah meetups you're able to, because it's honestly some of the most fun you can have, I think.
Yeah, jroc as well, meeting him was absolutely fantastic. Got to sit down and smoke with jroc. Enjoyed many flavors for the very first time with him, which was fantastic and awesome, obviously. And then also from THL, Frank from THL is actually planning to do a meetup in New York, which would be super cool. I'd love to be able to make that. I'm already trying to figure out the logistics of it to see if I can do it.
Same.
It would be fantastic. Me and Brandon George, because he actually lives in Utah, which is about a 3-hour drive from me, we're talking about trying to get a meetup going on over on this side of the coast as as well. We're going to see what we can do. It'd be fantastic if we could, obviously. Still working out details and everything, but it'd be fantastic. Diamond says, really hate that I didn't make it to the expo last year. That's okay, Diamond. You can make it to the next one. Don't even worry about it. It's just so many fantastic things happen at the expo. The ability to sit down and talk with people that you've been conversing with for so many years for a lot of people on the different groups on Facebook and stuff like that, to sit down and smoke and talk is just a phenomenal thing that you just don't get to experience in any other way. It seems like a lot to try and make it to one of these meetups. It really does. Like, especially if it's like far away and stuff like that. I was lucky, Vegas is 8 hours away from me. Adrian's lucky, Chicago is 5 hours away from him. It's not this huge gap of distance you have to travel, but at the same time. Exactly.
Which makes it easier. Flying places turns out is expensive.
Yes.
But, if I could recommend flying one place in all of 2019, I'd take a plane right over to Las Vegas, because we are going to get stupid. Like, really stupid. like I'm not going to film anything, which is weird because I normally film something everywhere I go.
Let's put it this way: for next week's episode, which is going to be the grand finale of season 2, you're going to get a sneak peek of just how crazy Adrian can get, because we're going to be doing another alcohol destruction. We're going to be drinking alcohol. We're going to be drinking alcohol, and listen to this idea that Adrian's the one that brought up, by the way. This is all Adrian's idea. We're going to be using the light goal as a shot goal. We're going to be using the light goal next week as a shot goal. So if you hit the light goal, we're going to be taking shots. We're going to be getting stupid. If you saw the very first time that we did the alcohol cost, you're going to know exactly what we're talking about. It was crazy. It was fun. But we're going to be doing it again. Light goals are going to be shot goals. It's going to be...
Make sure to bring your people, because we're not going to start... Because if I have to take 7 shots, I'm not about to give you guys 7 shots for 35 fucking likes. Like, tell some people.
Yes.
Open up multiple accounts. Watch the podcast. Because I think we're going to have to start it at like 30 and go every 5 after that. That way we probably cap ourselves at 5-6 shots, and I can still like function for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I have a family I got to get back to, so I can't be too stupid.
Yeah,
but I guarantee.
Captain Wetbeard, listen to Captain Wetbeard. Also, bring your own. You can play with us,
please
and then we'll do call-ins.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's going to be basically an entire call-in episode. We're going to do what we did last time for our end of the season, where we're going to have lots of people come on and stuff like that. It's going to be a fantastic blast. But yeah, be ready for that. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be stupid. We're going to have a ton of fun. Let's keep talking about some fun stuff that happened in 2018, though. What do we want to talk about? You want to talk about tobacco, coals, or hookahs? What do you want to talk about from 2018?
Let's talk about tobacco.
Tobacco? Okay.
Because that's actually the coolest thing in hookah.
I have just a couple brands of tobacco that I have written down, basically, and we'll touch on whatever it is you want to touch on. We can talk about Azor, because I feel like Azor really came into its own this year. I know that it was around at the end of last year and stuff like that, but it really got into its own this year with just how much stuff they were producing, how they were really pushing the stuff in such a large way, and then things like, the cigar that came out and stuff like that. Like, there's just so many phenomenal things. What was your favorite thing about Azor in 2018?
All right, Azor has I remember Azor first coming out, and okay, so I had some experience with their dark and their blonde line, which are both very good lines. They've really fixed the dark line, or I've gotten more used to it, but they're both phenomenal. Some flavors that stood out to me that weren't necessarily released. Was all the Azor released this year? Matthew, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine. What's up?
The Azor, that started last year, correct?
Yeah, it started last year.
So I don't know of any flavors that got released other than Azor Cigar, which is phenomenal. For the 15 of you or however many that were sent out, enjoy it. Let us know how you liked it. But Carolina Peach, Lemon Muffin, Unicorn. There's so many stellar flavors that came out with Azor that they are starting to become, I think, a staple in the community. People talk about Azor as commonly as people talk about Trifecta now, which is like a big deal because Trifecta is one of the best brands you can buy.
Yes.
So I'm very excited to see what we have coming on from Azor. Alpha Kama, was the Midnight line not released this year?
It wasn't, sadly, and it's going to be out. It's going to come out at the beginning of next year. Talk to Badia a little bit. It should be out at the beginning. I know
it needs to be out.
I know
it's so good.
I know.
Like, people need to experience Alpha Kama Midnight because it's one of the truest dark leaf tobaccos you'll ever smoke. For many of you probably already know that Tangiers isn't a true dark leaf. We'll probably do a show on that at some point, talking about maybe myths in the hookah industry that you thought were true but aren't, or something like that. But Tangiers is not a dark leaf. So you got like Trifecta dark leaf, you've got Azur's dark leaf, and then Midnight's dark leaf is like, it's the closest thing to Azur cigar in terms of like
Tobacco.
density of like nicotine and just like real tobacco. It's very good.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm sad that it didn't make its way this year, sadly, just for whatever reason and stuff. There's also a couple lowlights I thought we'd touch on, too. I thought Hayes' comeback, or attempt to have a comeback, did not go over as swimmingly as possible. I tried 3 of their flavors, the Cotton Clouds, the Beat the Heat, and the BOF, or whatever it's called. Not stellar stuff, in my opinion. It goes to show you that having a name in the community is not quite enough. I know some people like certain flavors. I thought Beat the Heat was okay, for instance. The rest of them, not so much. What did you think about the attempt to come back from Hayes this year?
I'm not going to speculate too much on like the move to Spain leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I understand there's probably a cheaper cost of operation over there, and that's great and everything. But I'm also, I'm all for. I'm in America. I like American businesses. I also like Russian businesses. Don't get me wrong. I love imports. But the move didn't make sense to me. And then when you're in this community that's still growing but still very small, if you remove yourself from whatever little spot in the market you're taking up, that spot's going to get taken up pretty quickly. Yeah. And when you try to come back with 3 subpar flavors, that's just not a good way to do it. Like, none of those flavors really hit the mark for me at all.
And for instance,
I think the lime one was the best one.
Yeah, the Beat the Heat, I think, was definitely the best one out of the ones that I tried for sure. But, there are companies that came back and did do a really good job. Speaking of Ugly in 2018, right? Like, I think they won back a lot of their sadness that happened over the last little while, because they were able to come back and redo their flavors and really show the community, hey, we do love doing this and we want to keep pushing that stuff to you guys. What did you think of Ugly's comeback in 2018?
Jim Zaida, great guy, really cares about his product, really listens to the community. I think he's got some movement to make still. I wouldn't say that a lot of people are really buying the product, and they probably should be, because his batches have been phenomenal lately. There are 2 new awesome flavors. You've got the Hookah Rush Triforce, which I had talked to Christian about. I think I'm going to go down and have a session with Christian pretty soon, actually.
That'd be awesome.
And because he's like a 4-hour drive away too. And then there's another one. It's actually Mango Lemonade, which is phenomenal. It's just incredible. And I really hope that Jim pushes this next year. I really hope to see more people buying his stuff in 2019, because I really think it's a good brand. And he's moved back to not washing the tobacco, which I think is a very good decision on his end.
So I wanted to also talk about some of the products that came out. We're running close to what we need to do for the end of the show, but I wanted to talk about I want to talk about Pat Max. I wanted to talk about forks that came out. I want to talk about the Lotus and the year of the tips. This has been the year of the tips.
So many tips.
So many tips. The Sunpipe tip, the Matt Pear tip, different Hookah Junkie tip, the 5-star tip. Like, everybody's come out with a tip. Everybody loves it. But I think one of the coolest products that came out this year that shows the innovation and not necessity of something cool is the pack mats, for instance. I think that they're just so neat in the fact that you're able to get something that doesn't seem like an immediate idea, but then when you see it and you use it, you're like, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want when you are prepping and preparing a hookah. An easy-to-use spot and area that you get all your stuff done at. And I think it's phenomenal in that way, Adrian. What do you think of the a rise of pack mats in 2018?
It's one of those products I never saw coming. Like, I didn't think someone would come up with it and then leave it to Bracken to forge this awesome product. And I think it's one of the cooler products you can buy. Super customizable. He's still working on stuff. He's got all kinds of sweet shit coming down the pipeline. I can't wait until some of his new products get released. And I don't know what's public information and what's not, so I can't say too much. But pack mats are dope. Get in. It's time to invest.
Yes, and congratulations to the fantastic Kenneth and Maggie for scoring so many gifts off this show that they have done, including their custom Pat Max that they got from us that says AM Hookah on it. It is just absolutely fantastic in my opinion. I think it's really cool. I don't know, just the whole thing is just 2018, in my opinion, has been a very cool year. It's been filled with not so many downs as there has been ups. There has been a couple downs, don't get me wrong, but I think overall the ups has been just absolutely phenomenal in so many ways and stuff. Is there anything that you want to leave off on for 2018? What about you guys in the comments? If you could write something very quickly, what has been your favorite part of 2018 in the comments? I'll read a couple comments right now. Also, don't forget, we do have a merch store, so go and check that out. Nightbot just reminded me to tell you guys, we got shirts, we got hoodies, we got cell phone cases, all sorts of really cool stuff. Go and check out that link and get yourself some AM Hookah merch. Also, we hit the 35 like goal from Wetbeard's like goal counter, so thank you so very much for that. Appreciate it, as always. So, what? Okay, so Derek Moses says 2018 was great for me. Derek Moses, too, by the way, let's not forget about all the awesome stuff that he does for the community, both with his hoses and then him as an actual person in the community. That is just
He may have
phenomenal.
not launched this year, but like Matt said, top tier quality product.
Yeah. Oh, Kenneth just said
the Titan hose,
right?
The Matt Titan hose. Forget about it.
Forget about it. It's my baby. I love it so much. I get to use it all the time. It is just absolutely fantastic, and that happened in 2018. So a couple of the comments that are going on. Derek says, yeah, 2018 was great for me. Brecken said 2018 was a good year for the podcast. It really was. This was a huge growth year for the podcast. We had a lot of new subscribers, and all you guys are like family to us. We've done some really cool things, and we want to keep growing. Like I said, if you want to become part of the Hookah AM Hookah Podcast team, all you got to do is send us a email at hookahpod@gmail.com and just say that you want to become a part of the team. We're going to be doing interviews and all sorts of stuff on the end of the season and getting some new people and new blood and some new ideas and stuff like that. We got the bot.
Also,
let's talk about Nightbot 2018. I mean, was there a better introduction to the AM Hookah podcast besides Nightbot? I mean, what's better, everyone? Nightbot or the wheel? Which one is better, Adrian? Nightbot or the wheel? Which one would you take?
Nightbot's better. And by the way, just so everyone knows, I'm not sure if anyone's following our season structuring, but this is next episode is the end of season 2, and then we take a 2-week break between that and season 3. And season 3 is going to launch January 7th of 2019. So those of you who've been watching all this year, this has actually been, once the next episode's done, that's going to be a conclusion of us doing the podcast for an entire year. So, whoa.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Whoa is right.
Sorry, I had to get that out. That was like in my head. I was like, holy shit.
This thing has just been snowballing into such a lot of fun. Diamond Rogers says, overall, 2018 allowed me to explore a lot of new different flavors. I was able to diversify my flavor palette thanks to Kenneth and Maggie. Kenneth and Maggie, very loving supporters of the show. We appreciate it a ton. That's a shirt. Don't make me go back to the wheel. That's a shirt. Don't make me go back to the wheel. I got to make that. That sounds like a really good idea, actually. Anything is better than Nightbot.
We're going to make a lot of merch.
Anything.
And, sell none of it.
Probably. That's how it's been. It's okay. We don't mind. Matt Killer.
I like it better that way, actually.
Matt Killer is what David Dewan says. I think he's talking about the Matt Pear Mullah Killer, but everyone was referring to it as the Matt Killer because they want to get me. I know they do. Derek says, I do everything for the community. He did a review on the Stonies. Their site is so nice. Oh, yeah. Stone Balls. Obviously, they do constant releases. Always great stuff. Edge Games with the Cactus. You know what? The Cactus has become something we love here on the AM Hookah Podcast. We couldn't ask for a better emoji for our show, I think, in a lot of ways. Nightbot's wheel. Yes, Nightbot's wheel. That's what we need to get going is have him run the wheel all by himself. Oh my goodness. So many great things, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a fantastic year. We still have one more show to do. We're going to be drinking and getting drunk and stupid. So make sure you show up for that. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad. If you're in charge of any employees underneath you, make sure they watch it. I don't know if that's legally allowed, but who cares? Just do it anyways. Yeah, man.
Also, like, I'll be doing it as an AMA. So once all of my inhibitions are gone, you want to ask me questions about things in my personal life, I'll probably answer them honestly. So, and trust me, there's things you probably want to know.
Phone lines are probably going to be open from the very beginning of the show. Like, we're just going to start it, and who knows how long this show's going to go. We're just going to have some fun. We're going to be talking about a new structure for the show as well. We might even be doing another night of streaming. I don't know what's going to happen exactly. We're going to be talking about that over the off season and stuff. Just so many things happening with the show, and we appreciate you guys for being a part and along for the ride of all of it, obviously, as well. It was a good year for growth in the community. I think so completely. The expo helped with that, and then all the other stuff that came through as well. Adrian might bring his shades. You better bring your shades, because I think we need the pipe dream to show up, is what we might be needing to have happen on here. So, yeah, it's phenomenal, guys. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else to talk about right now. I don't know. I guess that's how we're going to end the show today. We appreciate you guys sticking through all the way to the end. Congratulations to David Dewan with his essay, and also to Hookah Feen for scoring themselves a Dawn Hookah Bowl thanks to THL, Sky Hookah Distribution. Who knows? Maybe we'll do one more giveaway for the end of the season. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I got some stuff lingering around in the old man cave.
Oh, I was going to leave this as a surprise, but now I want to get people worked up. Half of the packages that I sent out with the Azure in it, randomly, and I did not select who got these, has 100 grams it's an unopened. I used to do some stuff with Alchemist, and they have some good flavors. So I threw in 100 grams of Alchemist from their sample packs too. So I know that jroc might want some of that.
Yes, he probably will.
Maybe I snuck some into jrocs with a biased prerogative.
Eddie just said next year is all about the invisible purge. That's exactly what it's going to be all about. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching, being a part of the show. We appreciate it as always. Until next time, keep on smoking, and we will catch you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.